Good afternoon, Commissioners. We'd like to call the Monday, July 6th Internal Services Committee meeting to order. If I can ask you to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Drolet moves.
Support. Myjack supports.
Motion by Drolet, supported by Myjack. Seeing no discussion, please vote on your computers. And Commissioner Romano, can you voice vote, please?
Commissioner Romano votes yes.
That motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. Next item is public participation. Anyone would like to speak has 5 minutes. And this is on the agenda items only. And I don't see anybody, Mike. If there is somebody that I don't see, please advise. And I ask that anybody who's online, please speak up. Mike, do you have anybody?
Nope.
Okay, closing public participation. Number 5, department recommendations. We have a purchase of the Pullman SST Incorporated 2020 court building facade repairs for $70,600. Lynn, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve.
Romano will support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Lynn, if you can continue.
The purchasing department solicited bids on the Mitten site for the 2020 court building facade repair. 218 vendors were notified of the solicitation, 37 vendors viewed the documents, and 4 sealed bids were received and publicly read by the purchasing department. Just a little background on this item. In 1978, we noticed some deterioration of the exterior precast panels of the court building. Core samples were removed at that time and sent to a lab to be analyzed. The laboratory testing confirmed that there was insufficient fine aggregate and insufficient entrained air in the precast mix, which makes it susceptible to the freeze-thaw cycle. The precast exterior is inspected every other year by testing engineers, and they identify estimated quantities that need to be addressed. We are requesting authorization to issue a purchase order to Pullman in the base bid amount of $70,600. Funds for this project are available in the 2020 Facilities and Operations operating budget. I just wanted you to note that the quantities are estimated when the contractor is actually commencing the removal of the unsound material. They may find additional quantities. No work will commence beyond the base bid until testing engineers has actually reviewed the area in question and verifies the additional quantities and recommends replacement.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. I don't see any speakers on the list. So,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, Commissioner.
I tried to be on the list. Question to Lynn. Is this a ceiling or is this a replacement?
This is the exterior of the court building, the precast panels. So this is the building envelope.
Well, I remember that we were doing a sealing process on this at one point of time. So now are we sealing it or are we replacing it?
They're doing both. any materials that they remove and they put in new materials, they will be sealing that. And approximately every 10 to 12 years, there's also a sealant put on the entire exterior.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Seeing no other commissioners, please vote.
Commissioner Romano votes yes.
That motion passes 12-0.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, and have a nice afternoon.
And you as well.
Thank you.
Next, we have, I believe, Sandy Wilson's here for JACO, and this is item 5B, software license agreement with Quincy Technology Solutions for the ME Case Manager software for $41,195. Do we have a motion?
Lucido makes that motion.
I'll support Drollet.
Support by Sauter.
Okay. Sandy, are you there?
I am. Good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
All right. All right. So yeah, on behalf of JACO, I'm here representing the IT request for the implementation of a new death record software system, which will go for the medical examiners. This replaces an existing outdated system that is no longer supported for security, as well as a lot of manual effort is tied to this with other Excel systems and modified reporting capabilities. So we did go out to RFP for this service. We had 3 competitive bids. Bid was awarded to Quincy, which was also the lowest bid, but also the best adept at meeting the requirements. Part of the solution we looked at included both an on-premise support versus the cloud. We are requesting to move forward with the cloud solution, and really that's based on the criticality of this application. It does need to run 24/7, 365 days a year. It has a high availability uptime, as well as a very high security threshold with the cloud service. The bandwidth is critical based on that availability need. And we did feel it was more suited and better supported at the cloud level versus us trying to support on-prem.
Okay, thank you. On the list, I have Commissioner Drollet.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess my question is, did the software that we are currently using, did that have an ongoing annual fee? And does this replacement software have an annual fee as well?
Yes to both. So the ongoing software today is about $5,000 per year. And this one here ongoing will be about $15,000 for the maintenance and $9,000 for the cloud support.
Wow, that's 5 times the cost of our current software.
That's accurate.
Wow. Was there any option that had a lower ongoing fees other than besides the setup cost, the startup cost?
No, this was the lowest bid that we got from the RFP.
Okay, and it's probably the paperwork. I should pull it up. But how long is do we anticipate using this software?
The current one is over 10 years old, and it is no longer actually going to be an option for us to use it, so we have to migrate off of it.
And the new software, how long do we anticipate using this software?
There's really there's no specific end date. We've got it cost outlined for 3 years, but until there's really a business need for us to transfer off of it, we would continue to use it.
Okay, are we committed to any number of years, or is it just an annual basis that we'd make the decision?
Yeah, we could do it by annual. There is a sign off on the contract that we need to give so many certain days of notice. So I'd say the term is for 3 years, paid annually.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Leonetti.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sandy, do we have some idea of is this going to, going along with what Leon's questions were? I mean, this is several times more the price of what we've been using for the last 10 years. And we'll be beholden now to this software company probably for the next 10 years with these licensing fees. What exactly is the improvement? I mean, I understand we're forced to do this because the other one's outdated, but are there some improvements that are going to increase productivity? I think you said there's a couple less manual entry points with this software. What can you tell us a little bit more about how this is going to be sort of an asset, not only to folks at the medical examiner's department, but how it may help the public? Because we're dealing with death certificates here. So any idea?
Well, what I can speak to is the fact that, like, right now, they use Excel to manually take spreadsheets to capture data, and then they manually have to put it into their current system. So all of this, whatever they capture right off the bat, would automatically be logged into the system. So there would not be this manual data entry into Excel and then also then again into the system. It has its own scanning capability. So as it's creating documents, we can not only scan information from other medical documentation, I suppose, into the system, and it'll all be tracked according to that case. It has reporting capabilities, which again, we do through Excel today. It will automatically create those reports. It has a connection with the state, which is ultimately where the papers have to be filed to. So all of those manual activities would become part of this one core system.
So in other words, it would allow maybe, one person to do the work of several, kind of. Is that, what you're saying? Or one person can at least, with one click or stroke, can have it sent to the state, have the data recorded, have it scanned and all that? Is that kind of what we're going with here?
I would agree with that. So yeah, the medical examiner would have less people working with that, and then the storage of information wouldn't be sitting in multiple systems and in some cases even paper still.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I appreciate it, Sandy. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see anybody else on the list of speakers. So with that, please vote.
Romano votes yes.
The motion passes 12-0.
Thank you.
And I believe the next agenda item for myself is for the actual transfer of the budget amount, requesting $41,195 to be transferred to the capital improvement fund for the medical examiner death record software.
And that is correct. And can we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
And motion by Druje, supported by Sagar. I don't see anybody on the list. Please vote.
Mr. Chairman?
Romano votes yes.
Yes.
I did have a question I was trying to put on the list.
I apologize. I didn't see it. Go ahead.
Thank you. So my question was regarding whether or not this was budgeted in the capital improvement fund in the 2020 budget that was approved, or this is a new item added to the capital improvement fund.
Yeah, it was actually submitted as a capital improvement for 2020 at the amount of $71,000. We were able to bring it down to the 41.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, no other speakers. Please vote.
That motion passes 12-0.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Sandy.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Item number 6, new business. Is there any new business, commissioners? Seeing none, we'd like to now open up our second public participation. You have 5 minutes to speak on any subject now. So is there anyone that would like to speak from public participation? Again, please unmute yourself by *6 if you'd like to speak for public participation.
Motion to adjourn, Drollet.
I have Bob Smith. Do you want to speak, Chair Smith? I don't know why that showed up. I'll give him a minute here. Well, I don't think so. So pardon? Okay, we'll ask for closing public participation.
Commissioner Carabelli?
Yes, sir.
I'm really sorry. I'm having all kinds of trouble with the double muting on my phone here. Can I have just 1 minute to tell you about what's going on with the Veterans Affairs Committee?
Yes, sir.
Great. Sorry about the confusion here. So I've talked to Pat Daniels and we've talked to Laura Rios in the past, and the veterans, our act that states that they can have 7 members on their committee. Right, for a long time they've had 5. They've had some issues with attendance, and we've talked to them in the last year. And I talked to Pat Daniels actually this morning again about it, and they've agreed that they would like to add, go up to the 7 members on their board. So we're going to have something on the agenda Wednesday to increase that number. We also have a vote coming up on the 2 spots that are up for re-election or election this next Wednesday, I believe. Mike Salyers, I believe Therese are up for to be reappointed, and then there's one other person that put in for one of those positions. The new positions will not be part of these meetings. They'll come up in September. I just want to let everyone know that we're going to be looking to add 2 positions to the Veterans Board.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
With that,
all right, thank you.
With that, a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Drollet.
Sauter.
Motion by Drollet.
Vote yes, Romano.
Please vote.
Romano votes yes.
That motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. Mike, meeting's over. Thank you, everyone.
Well done, Jim. Take care. Everybody stay cool.